Hello everyone, my name's Tirza and welcome back to my channel. Now before I was such a do-gooder vegan, I used to love a certain chocolate bar with a nougat and caramel layer covered with milk chocolate. I used to love them. Of course I would feel sick every time after eating one, but I still love them. Now ever since going vegan, I've had the vegan version of a similar bar twice, but I mean, come on, £2.50 for one bar? We can do better. This little piece of paper that has this recipe might be worth millions. And so you might wonder, well, if so, then why are you sharing this precious recipe with us, mere mortals here on YouTube? Well, it's because I love you guys and I care. And I think that joy must be spread around the world. So the cool thing about these bars is that they are mostly made out of whole foods, and after eating one you'll feel really comforted in your soul, but you won't feel sick. And also you know that you have nurtured and offered nutrition to your body instead of just causing it stress. Let's get started with making the bars. I have this silicone bar mold, so I can make 12 bars. Now I understand that not everyone has one of these. I recommend you get one because it comes in really handy. I got this one from Lakeland, I think for 10 or 15 pounds. But you could also use a cupcake mold and then make little caramel cups as opposed to bars. And our first step is going to be to melt the chocolate.
We are going to melt 100 grams of dark chocolate, au bain-marie. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of coconut oil to help the melting process, but you can skip that step if you so wish. Then we are going to take 1 tablespoon of melted chocolate for each individual mold and spread that around and making sure to cover the sides.
We're going to put this in the freezer so the chocolate can harden, and in the meantime we're going to get started on our nougat layer. And of course, lick the chocolate off the spoon.
In a food processor, place 100 grams of pitted dates, 3/4 of a cup of oat flour, 1/4 of a cup of cashew butter, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and also 2 to 4 tablespoons of water, depending on how soft your dates are. You want to blend this away and add more water throughout the process if that's needed, because the end result should be slightly sticky.
Right, so this layer tastes very cookie-y, and that's thanks to the cashew nut butter and the oats. And the dates give it a little bit of sweetness, but it's not too sweet, which is good because the layer that we're going to put on top, the caramel one, is really, really sweet. Now what we're just going to do is take about a tablespoon of this for every bar and press it into the mold sort of evenly. We are getting there. Let's put this back in the freezer and get started on our caramel layer. For our salted caramel layer, we are going to need our food processor again, but you don't have to worry about cleaning it, you could just use it again.
We are going to use 200 grams of pitted dates and 1 teaspoon of salted caramel flavouring. You can find this in different shops. I got mine at Aldi. A small pinch of salt and 1 to 3 tablespoons of water, but this does again depend on how soft your dates are. And then blend away. You will need to scrape down the sides a few times and keep blending until a sort of puree has formed.
I want to show you guys what it looks like, but my camera keeps not focusing. Let's focus on the right thing here. It's quite thick, this caramel layer, which is good because otherwise when you bite into your caramel bars, the caramel is going to be too watery and runny, which is very unpractical. So you want it to be quite stiff because then it will stay in place better. Okay, let's take out our bars. We're going to spoon the caramel layer on top of the nougat layer now.
Spoon 1 tablespoon of salted caramel mixture into each individual mold using a wet spoon and knife.
3 out of 4 layers done, you guys. Let's pop this back in the freezer and melt our final chocolate layer. So to melt the chocolate now, we're going to basically do exactly the same as before. stirry, stirry, mixy, mixy.
Use 1 tablespoon of melted chocolate for each individual mold and make it look sort of even on top.
There we are. Oh, it looks so bad, but it's gonna look good in the end. These babies can go back in the freezer, I would say for another maybe half an hour, so that they're really firm all the way through. So whilst our bars are in the freezer, now we have time for the best part of all of this, which is to do the dishes. Here we are, you guys. Here are our bars. Now, we're going to make it look good. We're going to get rid of all the little excess chocolate bits and everything, and we're going to break them open and have a look at the inside and taste them. You have a perfect bar. Can you see it?
Turns out you can't see them because my camera wasn't focusing, so here's a picture I took of them later. I think they look pretty good, you know?
Let's try this. We have now made 12 salted caramel chocolate bars. The price I'm going to put here somewhere because I still have to calculate it, and the calories per bar I'm also going to put here somewhere. I hope you guys try this out. If you do, tag me on Instagram at Tears a Healthy Vegan Life. I would love to see your creations. I'll see you guys next week. Do 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 do.